Lewis, we've just drawn 1-1 against Nottingham Forest away from home. I mean, to be honest with you, we're not the first big team that has struggled. I know Tottenham had a tough game, Liverpool obviously lost. But it's not the way you want to start off your year, is it?
New Year, same Chelsea, but this is literally the game I look at when people ask me why I'm not the most confident of fans, why I'm not the most optimistic fan. Why don't I try and say something to motivate the fans? Because of games like this. This is why. Because I actually thought we were going to get a good result today. Going into the game, I had a bit of confidence because of the way we played against Bournemouth. Even the first 20 minutes, it gave me confidence. I thought we were good in build-up play. We were doing well in possession. We weren't making too many mistakes. Obviously, there was a few here and there from Zakaria, Koulibaly, who we will get onto. He had an absolute disaster class today, but he was one of an entire team that did. No one really stood out, and as soon as we got the first goal, we just continued to lose control. We continued to lose the ball more. We started making more mistakes. Forest really started stamping on our necks, and we couldn't do anything. We were just struggling. And it's games like this, which is why I keep saying I have zero confidence in this squad making top four. Because in games that are winnable, like these ones, we produce performances like that. Yeah. From winning positions, we produce performances like that. From positions of dominance, even before, like in the last few weeks when we talk about the Brighton game, the Arsenal game, we didn't control. We had control in this game and we lost it. And we never got it back. We never improved. We just continue to fall further and further into our shells. Because another thing that we don't like is we don't like hostile atmospheres. Seen it numerous times this season.
We should be up for atmospheres like that. Why? Why would we not be up for a game like this?
There's no backbone. This team's mentality is in the bin. I've said it in terms of the mentality of the players, in terms of the application of the players, in terms of their decision making in key moments. We are nowhere near a top four side. You see how I'm not even really going into individuals because I really could, but everybody stunk. The only player that I'm looking at and I'm thinking, you had a good game today, was Kepa. Kepa has really turned it around this season, and to be honest, we don't speak about it enough. He has been unbelievable for us. Saved us in key points because we didn't deserve to win that game. Should have lost about 2-1, 3-1, maybe not 4, but they had enough chances, they had enough transitions against us that if they had better finishing or better decision making, they could have battered us. Kepa, Thiago Silva in some phases, maybe Cucurella in the odd phase or two. That's it. Nobody else had a good game. No one else is coming out with their heads held high.
Let's talk about players that had a good performance against Bournemouth. We've got Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, both got on the score sheet.
Yeah, we're all in the mud because they had one good game, didn't they? They reverted straight back to type after that. That's why I said it was a good game against Bournemouth. Fucking hell. Do it again. Game one. Where was Havertz's presence? Well, fair enough to him. I don't want to get him too much because he didn't lose the ball as much. There wasn't as many bozo moments from him that I usually see. But there was nothing incisive about what he was doing. It was just sideways and backwards passes to build up play. And fair enough, you're not losing the ball enough. But you're not doing anything incisive. You're not showing any impact on the game. You have barely any presence in the box. And then you don't have the strength to be able to hold up the play or to actually bully defenders. He was getting bullied when we were in transition. Defenders just tugging his shirt and he's just losing balance easily. This is why I don't back this guy as a number 9. I don't see it in him. He doesn't have the technical ability and he doesn't have the strength or the athleticism necessary for it either. I don't see it. Mason Mount, the passing is just, decision making at times is absolutely atrocious. I've said it numerous amount of times. He needs to be so much better on the ball than what he's delivering if he wants the amount of money that he is asking for. This is why you shouldn't be jumping to conclusions after one game. Look at the way we've been playing. Charlie showed me we've had one win in our last 7. And I'm meant to be confident because we had one good performance against Bournemouth. And even good is loose. It was another 30-minute performance. As soon as we got the 2 goals, we slipped, we disappeared. The only difference is Bournemouth are crap. But they didn't make us pay for it. Forest, they came out, they were different. They were very good in transition. That striker, Owomi, or whatever his name is, he absolutely battered Koulibaly. And I've said, he needs time to be able to adjust to the quickness of the league, but you can't also justify a start in this form. Look at Trevor Chalobah this season. Trevor Chalobah's been unbelievable. I don't know why we benched him, especially the way Koulibaly's played the last 2 games. Chalobah should be starting against Manchester City. And I like Koulibaly. I'm not really closing the book on him or anything. I said I'll give him a year to adjust to the Premier League before I make my judgment. But he's not good enough to start right now. As someone who I back Koulibaly, I don't want to see him start. Azpi, if we're not getting a right back in tomorrow, then I don't know what we're doing, because we are struggling on that side. Koulibaly and Azpi, by the way, on that side is just asking for trouble. Mistake FC on that right-hand side. Azpi just got ran through again and again and again, and like we already know the impact without Reece James and how much we drop off. That's why, because I love Azpi, but he ain't that guy no more.
I can't blame it on him though, because with all the injuries we have in defence, you're kind of forced to play with Azpi, and if you play a 5, you risk losing a player like Chalobah as well, which means you've got no cover.
No, I understand that. Like, Azpi's giving the best he can give, but the best is not good enough anymore. Respectfully, like, we're gonna have to cut ties on that. He's got to be a number 3 right back, or he's got to go, because he's not at the level that we're requiring anymore. But again, it isn't just Azpi, it isn't just Koulibaly. They're the 2 that just stood out. Jorginho, bypass for fun. We need that DM in immediately. Mount, we've already said. Zakaria looked very sloppy. Very sloppy. Pulisic, you had him just over-dribbling again. He's not really justifying a start against, Man City. I mean, but to be honest, whoever we play, we're getting pammed anyway, so does it even really matter?
What about Ziyech? Because I actually think, despite the fact things didn't go well, I thought he tried to be positive. You know, he put some good balls in the box. You know, as I said, I know it's not a lot, but we've got to try and take something. What did you think about his impact, and can you see him starting more games in January, or is it time to go?
I mean, he had 1 good pass. I think Oba should have done better from what I heard, but I didn't really see the chance. But I need to see a little bit more from him. I still thought he was a little bit lazy. Some of his decision making could have been a bit better. If he wants to stay, fair enough. If he doesn't want to stay, it doesn't matter to me. I would rather put Amari Hutchinson in there. Maybe he'll give you some energy or something different, because we're not seeing anything. Nobody in this squad is justifying a start except Thiago Silva. And even by Thiago Silva's standards, he was a little bit sloppy today.
It wasn't a great game. I feel like we were passing around the back a little bit too much.
Yeah, passing around the back was just poor. It wasn't really structured in any way. But it was an entire team failure. The midfield wasn't doing anything and the attack was poor. But this is why I'm looking at all of this and I'm thinking, you think we even have a chance of top 4? Spurs lost. We could have easily capitalised on that, but we waste our opportunities because we're not consistent and we don't play well. This team is not a top 4 team. And it's fine, like next season maybe we'll go again. Like, I know our standards are for top 4, but I keep emphasising this after basically every fan cam. This squad will not reach your standards. Unless we get like 4 or 5 players in January and they all hit the ground running, we're not doing anything. We're not making top 4. Champions League is going to be a laugh as soon as we face anybody serious. We got City in the first round of the Cup. City are fuming as well because they just drew to Everton. They need to catch up. We're getting battered on Thursday. It's going to be peak, but it's Chelsea. And you know what I say, it's Chelsea. We might even just scrape a 1-0 because we're that unpredictable. But I have no faith in that. I don't know if you have any faith going into that, but it's just going to be long anyway.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's not the best team we've had in a long time. But you got to try and enjoy it, haven't you?
I mean, yeah, but it's like, it took me ages to even get here. I didn't even get to enjoy it. I only got here 10 minutes before kick-off. And it's New Year's Day as well. We all got hangover attacks. Same Chelsea, though.